Well, hello there. This is just a quick video to go over a short set of currency that I've put together over the last couple of years. This would be concerning the 1914 series, original series Federal Reserve notes that were printed after the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. So we'll start off with the smallest denomination that was printed. This is the $5 note for the 1914 series Federal Reserve notes. As you'll see, Lincoln there on the face, ornate background. Of course, these were large size notes, so these are about 40-50% larger than the modern size notes that we have now. But this particular note is a more rare signature combination of Burke and Houston. So this note would have been printed sometime between February of 1920 and March of 1921. And the back of these notes were all the same. They featured a scene of Christopher Columbus sighting land over here on the left, and the Pilgrims landing at Plymouth Rock over here on the right. And as I spoke about in one of my past videos, these were also payable in gold at a Federal Reserve Bank. The obligation is right down here, so you could take these notes in and trade them for gold. So that's the $5 note, 1914. This would be the $10 note with Andrew Jackson on the front. Now, of course, we're accustomed to seeing him on the 20, which may be changing very soon. But at this time, he was on the $10 original series Federal Reserve notes. And let's see, this would have been printed a little older in the series. You see on the right side is a signature of McAdoo. And let's see, I'm going to do a video about signature combinations in the coming days and weeks here, because I think it's important that people understand that the only way that you can truly date your note exactly within the series when it was made would be based on the signature combinations. So let's see, Burke and McAdoo, this would have been sometime between the original printing in 1914 and December of 1918. So this would have been made sometime in the first 4 or 5 years of the printings of these notes. So this is a 1914 series, Jackson on the front, and this one's a little more interesting on the back. This is called the Agriculture and Industry design on the back here. So on the left you have a farmer and a couple of farmers and a team of horses working the land. So that's talking about the agricultural prowess of the United States. And then on the right side you have all sorts of manufacturing going on. You've got the railroad cars, you've got factories, you got all kind of smoke puffing out into the atmosphere. So that's just just reassuring everyone that yeah, we are industrialized, we're powerful. So that's what they were celebrating on the back here. Something chewed the very bottom of my note here, so we won't talk about that. But that's my $10, and you've already seen this one if you've watched any of my other videos. But this is the $20 note. And we've got this is a later printing, still the 1914 series, but it's a later printing. You've got signatures of White and Mellon. So this would have been printed between 1921, possibly even as late as when these changed over to the smaller size notes, a little bit later on. So the 1928, so sometime in the 20s. This would have been a Roaring Twenties $20 bill appropriately. And then on the back, you've already seen it, but I'll show it to you one more time. This is one of the reasons why I got into collecting paper money, was just the design on this note. Locomotive and early automobile and flying machine on the left, and on the right side you have the transportation by water. You have an ocean liner, a tugboat, and just just saying that as Americans we kind of know how to get around. We've built a transcontinental railroad, we invented flight, or invented a flying machine anyway. We played a great role in improving the invention of the automobile. And of course you got to remember, this was designed in 1913, 1914, so cars and airplanes still a really brand new concept. So they were celebrating that on the back of this note. So there you go, there's the Federal Reserve typeset up through the $20 note. They also printed 50s and 100s, but those are a little expensive, so I'm not going to be purchasing any of those anytime soon. But there's my collection. Thanks for watching.